Hey everyone, and welcome into another episode of the Tim and Jim Show. I'm Tim Sohn, hanging out here in Pennsylvania with Sohn Social Media Solutions, and I'm really excited for this episode. My friend Jim Fuse, how are you today?
I am doing great, Tim, and it's good to see you. And I'm really
Good to
excited
see
to
you.
have our guest join us. He's a local as well with me, and I got to
Yeah.
show you, Tim. I don't know if you call this the sports thing, but I got my
Yes.
marathon medal, and Justin can
Congratulations.
appreciate this. It's kind of like the Braves World Series ring that it opens up. So
I
I
feel
thought
like you
that
should be
was
in
pretty cool.
solo view, Jim, so we can see this.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. Not about me. It's not about me. But it was a little painful, but I almost feel like I could go running today. I haven't decided yet. I
Wow.
might at least go for a walk, but I think we're supposed to get a little rain. Justin probably knows more because he's got to think about that thing with
Yes,
what
I
we're
do.
going to talk about today. And Tim, you know what we're talking about today? Pretty excited. This is like you said, you're excited, I'm excited, and this is where like the geek in me really gets that. And we're going to talk about how drones, right? Drones can help you grow your business. And we've got
Yeah.
a drone expert with us, Justin Arndt. And I got to know Justin through, he's a member of the American Legion Post, where I'm a member. He's in the
Mm.
Sons of the American Legion. And he went to Kennesaw State, graduated in 2009, was in law enforcement, but then had to, unfortunately, some stuff happened where he had to make some changes because of some physical things that happened. And, but he has jumped into being an entrepreneur and he is just killing it, in my opinion, with this drone stuff. So, Justin, we're so excited to have you here today. And so, why don't you tell us a little bit more about yourself?
Well, hey, thank you, Tim and Jim, for that intro. I used to be a police officer. Got injured in a car accident, had some back issues, medically resigned a few years ago, and decided to go 100% business owner. That way, I can kind of do my own thing, work at my own pace. I did go to Kennesaw State. I got into drones and cameras pretty early on in life because my dad was always had a camera around. He got one of those when I was first born, one of those big rigs where they had like the VHS tapes in it. So I saw the value of like video and photo work like very early on. And so I bought my first professional camera and my first drone in 2018. You know, aerial photo and video work has come a long way, especially because of the drone technology that has changed. Drones are a lot safer now. They have GPS systems in it to where they just can hover in one spot and they don't go left or right when the wind blows. The camera systems are getting better. And Started playing around in 2018 with my first drone, and it was a Mavic Air. If people in the who's listening and watching this, if they know what that is, it's one of uh, the first drones that I picked out was that because it was like super easy to fly and it was a good beginner drone, but it took professional pictures. I crashed it, and now I have a better one. It has a bigger camera on it, and it's the Mavic 2 Pro, which it looks like this when it's folded down. It like if you look at the comparison, these things are small, but they pack like a huge punch. And that's the drone I currently use for aerial video and photo work. Most of my clients are in the construction industry, where I take progression reports or progression photos and documentation for their reports. Also, marketing agencies and also real estate.
Wow,
Uh,
that is really cool. I mean, and I think that's one of the things that we don't always think about. Like I know we have a friend, Michael King, that's a roofer. So I know Mike might stop by later. He usually checks out the show, and he uses a drone as well when he's
yes.
inspecting a roof before they get started. And actually, I guess that's probably safer sometimes than actually physically
So
going up there, right?
yeah, roofers, if you have a steep incline, like a steep grade, they'll send the drone up first, before they send a human up, just because it is safer, like you said. However, the camera will never beat a naked eye. But yeah, they're still being used. And also, drones are actually carrying LiDAR lenses where it detects light. So anywhere where light hits, it can actually read an image there too. So they got thermal drones, LiDAR drones, regular camera drones. Like I said, the technology has grown so much.
That is so cool. Tim, do you have a drone?
I don't have a drone, but I've seen a few in action before. One of my clients is a Readers and Writers Festival, and they've had a outside company come in and do some drone work and promotion for the event. And also another client of mine is a septic and wastewater company, and they've also had a company come in and do some drone work because for some promotion work, but they also have a location that's a farm. So they've used a drone at that location as well for some different purposes also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've played a little bit, but one of the things is, and it really, how I like to segue or squeegee, whatever word you want to use, um,
Squeegee.
is because Justin's gonna, I think, Justin, what you don't realize is we brought you on here for free consulting by having you on the show. I learned that
That's
from our
really why
friend
we do the
Jesse.
show.
That's right. But
Great. I'll send you
what
an invoice.
what got you interested in drone technology, and what does it take to become certified? Because I think that's something people don't realize that's so important, and why it is important to work with a professional like you. Because if you're just going out there with your drone, you can get yourself in a lot of trouble. Why don't you dive into that a little
Yeah.
bit?
So I'll answer the first part. What really got me interested is when I was researching on what kind of professional camera to buy, all of these videos would pop up, and sometimes I would get like a little notification, "Hey, watch this drone stuff," or drone videos pop up. Looked at that, I'm like, wow. Everybody has a cell phone, everybody has a camera, and you can everybody in this whole world can take photos with with that device, a handheld device. What's really unique and different is seeing photo and videos from an aerial perspective, and it really changes the dynamic of how you view things because it's all relative to the space around it. You can see more, and so that got me interested in getting a drone because I could take photos where nobody else could. Not everybody has that technology and access, but I mean, we live here in the U.S., so anybody can buy a drone and learn how to fly it. But that goes into the second part, what it takes to get certified. When you have a drone, you have to register it with the FAA, unless it's under 250 grams. Well, that's a little bit technical, but you have to have a standard, I guess, license to fly it. It's not a pilot's license or anything. You just pay $5 and you get your your little certification where you can fly legally. But when you do drone work for work and you are actually getting monetary incentives from it, you have to have what is called a Part 107's pilot's license. The FAA requires this per their laws. So I'm being paid directly for drone services. I have to carry this license on me. Also, if you are working for somebody else, let's say you work for a police department, and you are part of their drone team, you are not directly getting paid for your drone work, but you are using a drone for work itself, and therefore you do have to have your Part 107 license. And you have to go through a pilot's test to get that. There are paid training programs to study. There are free resources out there. I graduated from YouTube University, watched a few videos, and passed my test with an 83%. So it's really not that difficult. You really have to just commit to it, sign up for the test, and just do your studying. It's not hard if you study correctly.
Right. And along those lines, Justin, what are some of the implications if you use a non-certified drone person? Because I think, and I'm doing this because I'm a fan of Justin, and I think he, you know, has earned his keep. And I think some of these people out there trying to take shortcuts don't want to pay for marketing. Where have we heard that before, Tim? But you got these realtors that are like, oh, I got my friend who's got a drone and they can take pictures. What are some of the implications of using a non-certified drone person?
Well, so if the FAA finds that somebody is using a drone operator or drone services and they don't have the license for it and the pilot's license, they will reach out and either by mail, and I believe it's by mail still. Uh, they will say, "Hey, we see what you did. Here's all the things that we found. Please, don't do this again. We're going to educate you. Hey, this is why this is so important." And basically, what I'm trying to say is, it's a slap on the wrist. Hey, don't do that again. That's bad. You could get fined. And so I've heard that the FAA has like interns like scouring like YouTube videos just to look for violations. I don't know how true that is. It's just rumors, what we hear in the drone space. But no, it could be possible. And if you get caught again, things will be a little bit more severe, and you could get fined and a certain amount of money. But yeah, it's safety protocols. There's a reason why they have these laws in place, because the airspace can be very dangerous. We have helicopters, you got planes, you have buildings, you have structures. Yeah, so it's really important to understand the laws.
Right. And our friend Stefan Kaplan, great to see you, Stefan, wanted to know he's thinking about using it for nature photography. And do you have any recommendations on I guess a drone that wouldn't break the bank?
Yeah. So my go-to answer for this, if you have something to write on, DJI is the brand, and the type of drone is the Mini 2. Right now, I think Costco was having like a sale of these Mini 2s. I think they were like under $500. Um, when you say don't break the bank, I'm recommending a drone that you will not crash very easily. It's very hard to crash this thing. It has GPS systems in it to where it'll just hover when you have your hands off the controller. These toy drones that cost $100, $200, you're gonna fly it once, you're gonna get frustrated, and you'll never fly again. My rule is you only cry once, so buy the more expensive thing, and then that's it. Yeah, so that's what I would recommend, the DJI Mini 2.
Awesome. And I'm going to actually share the link in the chat from Amazon, because they have it out there. And you know how, I like Amazon a little bit, right, Tim?
You like Amazon a lot. And shout out to Jim and Chris Stone's show, Dealcasters Live, by the way.
And this is, yeah, so this one's for the
Oh,
DJI too. But I think that's a great point. Um, with what you're saying about that, because I look at a lot of these things, like you were asking us about, how our cameras and everything else. This is an investment in your business. If you're going to use this stuff, uh, you know, trying to save a few bucks up front, I think you make a great point, Justin, is going to hurt you on, the back end. Because then if you break it because it was a cheap drone, now you got to go buy another drone. So, but
right.
that's a great recommendation.
And to also, Mr. Kaplan, for nature photography, if you're listening, you don't need a special Part 107 just to take recreational photos with your recreational license. The $5 thing that you're supposed to get. But if somebody were to stumble across your work, Mr. Kaplan, if you're still listening, and they offer money, that's okay. You can sell that. Your intention was to post for your own personal, reasonings, and so your intent was not to make money. But if somebody comes and say, "Hey, how much for that photo?" Well, then that's okay. You can still sell it legally. The FAA is not going to, knock on your doors or anything. And plus, I think the FAA is way understaffed right now, so I think you're good.
That is so cool. So Tim, you want to ask question number 2?
Yes, I would love to do that. And before I do that, I just want to thank everyone for tuning in, whether you're live or on the replay. Thanks, Russ Hedge, for being here. Always appreciate you being here. And Stefan And everyone else who's here, we appreciate you for
Yeah, and I think is Facebook user on your page? Because I know Facebook users making some great comments, but I guess
Yeah, I'm not sure. And I know people who switch from their regular Facebook profiles to the business profiles. I know it does that now, so I don't know if that's what it is. I'm not
right.
sure who it
But
is.
we love you, Facebook user, and
Oh,
they're excited about the marketing aspects of drones and want to learn more. So
Yes, thank you. Whether you're a Facebook user or a real, I mean, you are a real person, but yeah. So let's get to the question. So, what are some ways you are seeing businesses use drone services to help grow their businesses?
all right. So there's a few ways. The ways that I've been doing them, being hired for specific things. I mentioned construction companies. One of my clients is local here in Kennesaw, Martin Concrete. You know, when you have like a million square foot facility, a distribution center, and you are building a structure of that size, it's pretty important to document the whole thing in one shot, and you can't really do that with a point and shoot on the ground. And so the marketing teams with these construction companies, they're mainly in the office. They're mainly, in that kind of environment. When you go to a construction site, you have to. It's hot, and well, mainly in the summer, it's hot. You got to wear your hard hat. You got to wear your safety vest. You have to wear steel toe boots, and you are walking in the mud, and it's very messy. It's very dangerous, and it's very loud. And so, in that kind of environment, I can understand why marketing teams want to stay in the office. So they outsource and freelance stuff. Somebody like me, and so I can take the appropriate photos for one, their social media, but also their reports that they have to file with the general contractors. So that grows their social media, and it documents like the progression of their build. Um, Also, marketing agencies, they've hired me for aerial photo and video work for events, for like a 5K event. I did one for I think Chick-fil-A sponsored it a couple months ago. Um, it's growing and marketing their race every single year, and now we have video content that we can chop up throughout the year and post little sections of it. We could have a whole video of it just to market and push the video out there from an aerial perspective. Again, watching a 5K from 300 feet above is really cool. It's really interesting to see all the lines of people going through. I've also done that for the American Legion's 5K race, the veterans annual race 5K that they've been doing. It's growing that way. I mean, I think Jim pulled up a video where I was helping somebody market their Instagram platform, where we shot in vertical, and having a unique perspective of a video, short clip like on a reel, kind of helps promote their brand. And also, aerial photos and videos have a 4 times more interaction rate than the standard photo on social media. 4 times.
yeah. In fact, Justin, since you brought that up, I want to share a couple things. First, I want to share this is really cool, folks. Tim and I, first time we have seen this today, and this is where Justin is doing drone shows,
Oh,
right? And so this is a short little clip that he sent me off of his phone. So you all are going to see this. So,
Ooh, I wonder if we can do
tell
our
us what's going on
star
here, buddy.
constellation.
Oh, yes.
I should ask him about that.
Yes.
so yeah, there's a very great way you can grow your business with drone lights. And uh, imagine a couple hundred drones in the air at night, forming your logo, forming your .com up in the air. And so we're talking about this right now. I'll get right into it. I partnered up with a friend of mine, another drone pilot. We do very similar work, and he talked to me about these drone light show stuff, and I was like, really, what is that? He showed me some videos, and I was like, man, you're going to be doing this? He says yes. I literally told him, I was like, man, I'm kind of jealous right now. Yeah, I wish, I want to be a part of this. I would love to help and be hired on, your shows. And just jokingly, I said, hey, if you want to share some of the risk, I'll buy into it, half jokingly. And he said, yeah, well, I'll talk to my wife about it. And I was like, okay. So I bought into the company, part owner, and we have 100 drones ordered, and we have 20 of them here with us right now. We're waiting on the other 80. And drone light shows, man, they're the future. And it's I had my very first public show last night at in the city limits, or the downtown city of Powder Springs, and it was hosted by the West Cobb Business Association and Skint Chestnut Brewery.
Nice.
Congratulations.
And that, I mean, that is amazing. And when because I remember seeing your post about how you were getting, funding to buy all these drones. I was like, wow, how do you fly 80 drones at once? But then I've seen kind of your setup. But I want to share your Instagram page because we got some pretty cool things here. So and I can put the sound on. Let me go over here and turn the sound on.
Yeah, it'll restart here, but yeah, we
And so this is an Instagram reel over on Justin's Instagram page. If you want to follow him at Justin Arndt, and it's talking about this one wheel, and we can let it repeat itself here in a second. And I'm going to. I mean, that's just amazing, isn't it, Tim?
oh yeah,
Yeah, totally.
we have so much more creativity with drones because we can move them like just differently than a standard point and shoot. We're not on rail systems like the Hollywood, movies. We're free to place the camera wherever we want, and we really have no restrictions other than the FAA rules and guidelines.
Right, and I'm going to pull up a couple others. So this was that was the one I think we just watched. Here's another pretty cool one. Oh, this is actually. So
Oh,
this
that's
is a photo you created, right?
yeah,
With your
that
drone.
is a panorama of Truist Park that I took on the night that they won the World Series when they were in Texas. And this photo was taken as they were opening up the gates for the viewing party. This is 15 photos stitched together, and that created the image. And I printed it on metal. And it's one of my best photos I've ever taken.
Yeah, that is amazing. And then we've got this is another really cool one. The balloon,
Sound.
girl. Oh, sure.
Nobody else, by your side, and nobody else, and that you got, and nobody else, by your side, and nobody else.
Yeah, that was both handheld and drone work together.
Yeah,
So
that's amazing. And now, is that all drones, or was some of that camera?
yeah, some of it. So it was half and half, handheld and drone. I was hired to capture the whole event, so I needed some photos and videos of the patrons enjoying the festival. So
Right.
and
Now
that's
this,
a
yeah, now
that's
this is a
time lapse.
camera, but it's still pretty darn cool what you did with time lapse. And so this is the whole thing, right? This is, to me, like we were talking about, think about how drone photography can help you marketing your business. I mean, Justin is extremely creative. I know I'm very impressed. In fact, I think Justin, you've got sitting there a photo that I was actually lucky enough to win, sitting by you, that
Yeah.
of
So
Mercedes Benz.
yeah,
And
Jim won a photo, a print of the Mercedes-Benz Stadium that I took in 2019. It was May of 2019. This is what it looks like. This was taken about 6:30 a.m. It's hard to see the details, but the sun, the way it was setting in the clouds, it was perfect. And this is one of my best shots of Atlanta that I have. And the story behind this photo, real quick. As soon as I got the drone up in the air, I was getting my situation, kind of, doing the whole, okay, how should I compose this? How should I, place this drone? I took maybe 7 or 8 photos, and all of a sudden, the lights that illuminate the logos and everything on the stadium, it shut off. So I only had like 7 or 8 photos of this thing, and
oh wow,
like 2 or 3 came out like really, really good. And so that's one of them that I decided to edit. I got really, really lucky.
yeah, that's all it takes sometimes, Justin, is to get a little bit lucky. I mean, and
Yeah.
just even like with the Truist Park, you timed it just right. It could have been another game after that, and then you would have been like, well, gosh, it wasn't the night they won.
And yeah, I was there just in case, and thankfully to get that shot, thankfully that they did not win in Atlanta, because I could not legally fly my drone during an event day,
Mhm.
at a scheduled event, a sanctioned event. Yeah, that would not have been legal to take the photo there.
Right. Right. So Justin, what are I think also, do you see a way that drones could be used with nonprofits, maybe to help them do some
Well,
fundraising?
yeah, I think nonprofits, whether they're doing a 5K, whether they're hosting a fundraising event, as long as a drone pilot is willing to give up, their time and resources, and hopes for maybe some cross promotion, in return. I think there's a way for nonprofits to use drone services, drone video, and photos, and that's a good way for nonprofits to partner up with local pilots, and cross promote each other.
Right. Now and with these drone light shows, which I think is amazing. I know a guy that was doing laser light shows, but I could see where he might want to switch to the drone
Yeah,
shows because it's a
and
little
I was thinking of the photo and video side, but the drone light shows, yeah. So when people do a drone light show, it draws in a crowd, because not very many people have seen these things. So nonprofits, if they're trying to raise money, I think a drone show could pull a lot of people in one event, and with the costs associated with the shows themselves, I think it's definitely worth, the drone light show provider to really cut back the prices, just because of it's good PR.
Mm,
It's good for the community. You're doing something to help a nonprofit, and so yeah, I could see us, as my business partner and I grow. We would love to do maybe like an annual event, like pick one nonprofit a year and do this, awesome show and help bring in money, help the community, put logos up in the skies. Cause I mean, like this is just for hypotheticals, but a big brand like Nike, putting their like little logo up in the sky with drones, I'm sure they would pay some money for that to give to the nonprofit. And so, and any other brand that wanted their logos up in the air to have, hey, thank you for sponsoring this drone light show. That's a huge market, and a huge opportunity for nonprofits to utilize.
yeah, I think it's amazing. What do you think, Tim? You think you're going to start a drone light show company in Pennsylvania, maybe?
I don't know about starting one, but I do work with some nonprofits. This is definitely has my wheels turning, and I think
Yeah.
it could definitely be an opportunity there.
Yeah.
So I'm loving learning all of this. So definitely appreciate you being here today.
Yeah. So we got one more question. Tim, you want to take it?
Yeah, I'd love to. So what are some questions that we should ask a drone company before using them with our business, especially if we know nothing about drones?
Okay. The first question the company should probably ask, if they are properly licensed and insured. Companies can probably, sometimes get in trouble for using a non-licensed, Part 107 licensed pilot, and also the pilot needs to have insurance coverage, liability, and all that. Paperwork and all that proof should be available before you even hire this person. That's the first thing that I would ask. And then, second, also, show me your work. What have you done in the past? And start having that dialogue right from the start, and then asking the question, hey, are you capable of performing and executing this job successfully? Having an end product in mind, or an end result of, hey, this is going to look like this, and that way you set expectations right from the start. So those are the key questions I would ask.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. This is amazing. I guess too. Would it make sense to also make sure that do you need to coordinate things? Like, as an example, I know when you did the 5K for the American Legion, they actually had helicopters flying in at the same time, and you caught some of that. But that's where you get into the whole,
Oh,
you understood it because you're licensed. So do you
yeah.
need
So
to understand that too?
I,
Like,
I
hey, I
apologize.
can't
One
be
thing that
around a bunch of power lines.
Yeah, no, understanding the area around you and knowing where power lines are, larger structures. Also, one thing that I did forget to mention, um, when you fly, you are in airspace, and the airspace that pilots like the most is called Class G. That it's open; you don't have to apply for waivers. But most of the stuff around here is in Class D, which you have to get a special permit or a waiver through the FAA, or the air traffic control. And it's all automated on apps now. You just apply for it, and it gives you permissions, and you have permission to fly in controlled airspace during that time, whatever your waiver states or whatever you applied for. And there's a little bit of a process for that, but yeah. Uh, and when you fly around airports or in close proximity of certain things, you have to get waivers.
Wow. Yeah, that's definitely good to know. I mean, so I will tell you, you've definitely given me some as they would say, some food for thought, as I'm sure you have as well with Tim. Tim, any thoughts that any other questions you might want to ask Justin?
No, this has been great. Just thank you. I'm
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
And so folks, at the bottom of the screen here, I've put Justin's Instagram accounts, his name, Justin Arndt, ARNDT, and then Hot Wing Drone Shows is the other one, all one word, so make sure you follow him over there, because the other thing he does, if you're interested, and I know my wife and I were, because I think she is looking to maybe get another photo from him, is he also, with these drone shots, takes some amazing, what turns into pictures. Just like he said, those were 15 shots he got of the stadium and turned it into a picture. So if you're looking for some gift ideas for friends or family, he may have something on his site that might appeal to you. Anything you might want to add there, Justin?
Just with that, yeah, they could reach out to me on the Instagram handles right there, and I could send them any kind of information that they would like, as far as how to get prints of my work, and everything that you see on Instagram is printable. Um, yeah, I would say, if you're getting into drones, that Mavic Mini 2, Mini 2 by DJI. That's the go-to, and yeah, I would love to help anybody out whoever is interested, and yeah, it's a process to get into it, but it's fairly the barrier to entry is very small. You just got to practice a little bit, and um, just have fun with it and learn at the same time.
Right. And Tim, you got something big coming up this weekend. You want to talk a little bit about it?
Sure. Thanks, Jim. So this Saturday is the Showing Up Perspectives on Cancer in-person event here in Pennsylvania. So really excited about that. Yeah, and that's it. There is a live stream portion of the event. It's at 2:30 p.m. Eastern time. My guest on the show is Savio Clemente. So it's going to be the first in-person show that is there's going to be a live audience as well as going to be live streamed, and it's the 1-year anniversary show. So
Wow.
very excited about that.
Congratulations. And
So,
and I hope the weather cooperates and that everything goes well for you this weekend. And next
you.
week, folks,
Yes.
if you're not organized yet, well, Joanne Kroll is going to be our guest. She is like a organization queen, and so really excited to have her
Ooh, I
on the
need that.
show. And we could, because I know I could all use a little organization. I did get rid of some stuff last week, so my wife was happy, but she still keeps asking about all these boxes. So maybe Joanne can help us get rid of that. Justin, once again, thank you so much for being here. This has been a great show. You really enlightened us about drones, and we really enjoyed having you on the show. Any final thoughts from you?
No, thank you for having me. I specifically planned this podcast interview after my first public drone light show to talk about it, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to hang out with y'all and talk a little bit about myself and my business.
Absolutely. All right, folks, we'll see you next week. Same time, same channels. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.